Hello everyone and welcome to today's session on theory and theory building in human resource development. As HRD continues to mature as a field, understanding the role of theory and how to build it becomes absolutely crucial for both scholarship and effective practice. Today I will guide you through several key areas: what actually constitutes theory in HRD and how theory building is so essential, the philosophical challenges we face, and how different frameworks shape our understanding across various contexts. Let's dive in. First thing comes, what is theory in HRD? So let's begin with a basic but fundamental question: what exactly is theory in HRD? Leading scholars offer some helpful definitions. Torako puts it very simply and says that a theory explains what a phenomenon is and how it works. Lennon goes deeper, describing theory building as the process or recurring cycle by which coherent descriptions, explanations, and representations of observed phenomena are generated, verified, and refined. So, in essence, theory in HRD helps us answer two powerful questions. Number one, what is HRD? And then how does it actually work? These might sound simple, but they are deceptively profound and underpin everything we do in this discipline of human resource development. Why theory building matters? Now, why does theory scholars, they talk about building the theory in HRD? Because it is largely a discipline which is practice oriented. The first is that developing good theory advances the professionalism and maturity of the entire field. It is not just academic decoration, it is foundational. Second, theory guides both research and practice. It allows us to interpret new data, respond to complex problems, define challenges clearly, evaluate potential solutions, and set directions for future inquiry. So here is a key. Without solid theory, practice risks becoming what scholars call autheoretical, driven by facts or personal opinions rather than reliable explanations. And research risks being disconnected from the real world application. As Kurt Lewin, the great scholar, famously stated, there is nothing more practical than a good theory. So now it becomes imperative to understand the core concepts in this regard. And these core concepts will help you understand the role of theory building in HRD and how actually it develops. Theory is a coherent description, explanation, and representation of observed phenomena. Theory building is the process or the cycle by which these descriptions and explanations are created, tested, and continuously refined. So knowledge base refers to the integrated system of ideas, concepts, principles, and practices that form the foundation of our discipline. And research is a scholarly inquiry that may, but does not always produce new theory. Now question comes that what makes sound theory? So what HRD theorists have identified as key tenets of a sound theory. The first, the importance. The theory must address something that matters. Second, preciseness and clarity. We need clear definitions and explanations. Third, parsimony and simplicity. Elegant theories are often the most powerful. Fourth, comprehensiveness. Like good theories cover their domain thoroughly. And fifth, operationality. Theories must be usable in practice. And sixth, empirically validating it. They need to be testable and verifiable. And seventh, fruitfulness. They should generate new insights and questions. And last, eighth, practicality. They must actually help us to do our work better. So in short, these tenets of the sound theory, clear, testable, applicable, and able to guide both understanding and action, are the pillars or the lampposts which help us understanding why theory is important in the domain of HRD. Swanson says that theory is three-legged stool. An HRD's core theoretical foundation can be visualized as these three legs are later explained. The first leg is psychological theory. This explains human learning, motivation, and behavior. It is the people foundation of what we do. The second leg is economic theory. This addresses the efficient and effective use of resources, including human capital. It's about value and return on investment. And the third leg is systems theory. This helps us understand organizations as dynamic systems with the interacting parts. It's about context and relationship. When we integrate these three theoretical perspectives, we get a robust foundation for HRD practice, one that addresses people, organizations, and their environments holistically. And there is an ethical rug beneath this stool, reminding us to fill cut action. There is an ethical rug beneath this stool, reminding us to filter all practice through integrity and professional values. And in this domain, it becomes imperative to understand multiple paradigms, a major topic in recent HRD literature, that how these paradigms help building the theory. Traditionally, such paradigms were not there. And HRD research has been positivistic, focused on objectivity, measurement, and prediction. Think scientific method, quantifiable results, universal principles. But as we develop, as we evolve, we find that the scholars are calling for interpretive and critical paradigms as well. These address the social construction of reality, issues of power and emancipation, and the complex context-dependent nature of organization. Why does this matter? Because different paradigms ask different questions and generate different insights. A positivist might ask what intervention in what interventions improve performance. An interpretivist might ask how do people make sense of development experiences. A, a critical theorist might ask whose interests are served by current HRD practices. Importantly, theory building requires close partnership between researchers and practitioners. Practitioners need theory that's genuinely useful, and researchers seek theories that are rigorous and valid. And to combine the two, these paradigms help us to go deeper into the theory building of HRD. So true progress happens when both sides collaborate, ensuring theory is both scientifically sound and practically relevant. Because lopsidedness, scientificity, or practicality, that creates a jolt. So therefore, the, the theory building in context of HRD, where we are using paradigm, we are looking at different tenets of theory building, that helps us understand that how this context develops and what it contributes. The recent developments in HRD theory recognize a crucial limitation. Most mainstream Western-based definitions and explanations may not apply everywhere. Scholars like Craig Wang and Harold Doty argue that current HRD models were built primarily from open context societies where information flows freely and decision making is decentralized. But that is not the reality. That is not the context. And in the close context, when we are looking at, that is such as authoritarian political system, HRD operates very differently. Their outcomes might include not only scaling, developing capabilities, but also shaping, enforcing loyalty, restricting information, or promoting specific ideologies. And this creates a profound challenge. What counts as positive or negative HRD may depend entirely on your perspective and the local governance system. So if we are importing theory from a context which is not suiting to our environment, then there would be mismatch. So theory building should be culturally sensitive and contextually aware, recognizing that our models may need significant adaptation across different social and political environments. This is what is making theory building in HRD more relevant. It is humbly reminder that theory is never neutral. It always carries values and assumptions. So what next for theory building in HRD? First, we need to continue rigorous research and maintain open dialogue between researchers and practitioners. Neither group can advance the field alone. Second, We must build inclusive theories and respect multiple paradigms and diverse contexts. One size does not fit all the global requirements. Third, we need to make explicit and underlying values and philosophical assumptions guiding our work. Transparency about our biases make theories better. And fourth, we must test and refine our theories through practice, ensuring they genuinely inform and improve HRD outcomes. In conclusion, theory building is not just an academic exercise, it is vital for advancing HRD as a mature, respected profession. By understanding and actively engaging with theory, we equip ourselves to tackle today's challenges while preparing for evolving realities of organizations around the world. This conversation continues, and your voice matters in shaping where we go next. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. Thank you so much. Soon we will be talking about the specific theories that how the HRD has contributed in developing theories related to specific issues. Thank you so much. See you soon.